All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. So, Amitabh,
Hi guys, welcome to our new episode wherein we'll be looking at the midweek matches. Again, there were some very interesting and intriguing matches, and let's take them one by one. We start off with the EFL Cup semi-finals. The second leg, Tottenham against Chelsea. Chelsea won 1-0 with an odd goal from Rudiger. The ball hit the back of his head or his back and somehow stumbled into the goal. Um, Again, we did expect so much from Spurs in this match. At least there'll be some sort of a reaction, and they'll try and go for a win. But unfortunately, that was not the case. To be honest, Chelsea never really got out of second gear, and yeah, it was a pretty easy performance for us. At least it was, dare I say, a training ground ritual for us. Um, Tottenham dominated in the last stages of the match, but by that time we actually had all but shut shop, and we were just waiting for the final whistle. Nothing great or very creative from this game, but yeah, somehow I feel that with this sort of performance, which is not in line with how Tottenham have been performing in the Premier League. Um, Maybe there was a case that Conte decided that the EFL Cup is not their priority this year, and they just wanted to get it out of the way because they have games in hand, and if they win it, they will be firmly into the top four race. So I don't know if that is the case, but from an outsider's point of view, it sure as hell looked that way. And again, in a semi-final, I don't know if that is how they should be going about it, because they have not won a silverware since 2008, and this was a great opportunity for them to at least try and compete. But again, a very forgivable, a match that we can forgettable match, rather a very forgettable match, and yeah, happy for Chelsea. Now we're in the finals. Let's wait who we are going to meet on the return leg for Arsenal. Liverpool will be next week. Rahul, your views on this match?
well, yeah, like you said, nothing much to say about this game. I mean, in a way, qualification was pretty much secured after the first match. And then when Chelsea opened the scoring in this one to make it 3-0, it almost looked like, impossible way back for Tottenham. And on top of that, obviously, even though Tottenham were missing a few players, but the same was with Chelsea. But it's just about the depth of the squad. I mean, just look at the bench that Tottenham had and the bench Chelsea had. I mean, Chelsea were able to bring on someone like Thiago Silva and Golo Conte, and Tottenham had, I guess, some youngsters on the bench that had not even made their debut yet. So obviously, and they were also without one of their talismanic players, Hung Son Min. So obviously, it was always going to be a difficult task. And on top of that, it was made so much more difficult for them by VAR, who accidentally got three decisions correct in a row. So the Kepa incident, the penalty incident by Rudiger, and also the goal that Harry Kane scored, which even I didn't know was not a goal, because I could see that Rudiger was there, but still it was deemed offside. So that's when I realized that it's because Kepa is further forward than Harry Kane, that it's an offside goal. But yeah, good luck to us. Obviously, it's like a very difficult thing. Like if it had happened against us, then it would hurt me. But yes, because it happened for us, I'm really happy. But either way, like Tuchel said, that even if Tottenham had scored, uh, Chelsea would have done something to change that. Like even a one-all draw would have been okay for us. We still would have gone through.
Yeah, exactly. Even if, dare I say, after the Rudiger's goal, had Tottenham scored a couple of goals, even then we would have, been resolute and somehow saw this match out. Um, Again, do you think that, I mean, that is at least my view. Do you think Conte was trying to prioritize the Premier League?
Maybe, but then I have we have at least talked about before as well that Conte's record in cup competitions is actually pretty dismal. Except for the FA Cup victory in 2018, he hasn't really won any cup competitions. On top of that, he has been criticizing indirectly owner Daniel Levy, that he wants to make signings. So, and he keeps referring to you can't compare Chelsea situation with Tottenham situation. Chelsea are the European champions, so indirectly saying that Tottenham are not good enough to compete. So yes, maybe maybe he's realizing that he's taken a wrong decision by joining Tottenham because yeah, he's not really someone who tolerates mediocrity. He left Inter Milan, like he left Inter Milan last season. He didn't leave Inter Milan to do a struggle like this for Tottenham over Tottenham. I mean, if he had the balls to leave title-winning side like Inter Milan, then I'm pretty sure he definitely has the balls to leave. Plus, on top of that, he doesn't really have a long contract. His contract is only till the end of next season. So maybe he stays till the end of the next season and then walks away on a free.
Yeah, I'm sure when he was contacted by Tottenham the second time around, when he actually joined them, I'm sure he was given assurances that new players will come in. And again, January is not the right time to get a lot of deals done, because in the middle of the season, not a lot of even the smaller or the mid-level teams are willing to sell their best players. So yeah, maybe something will happen in the summers, or again, even if you are not as talented in terms of the players, I don't see why you should not give it a go. But again, maybe that's just me. Maybe they have something better thought out. Okay, moving on to the next semifinals. Liverpool against Arsenal. So I'd like to sum up this match in just one stat. Shots on target. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 1. There was a lot of huff and puff going throughout the match, but there was no end product. Now, we can say maybe Xhaka's red card in the 24th minute gave a lot of clarity to Arsenal what they have to do for the next 66 plus extra time minutes. Again, I can draw a parallel from our performance at Anfield earlier in the season. So, and even then, there were moments when Arsenal tried to break away with Saka. Saka had a wonderful game. He ran his heart out yesterday. Uh, Lacazette, Saka, even Tierney, they just broke free from the defense, and they created a couple of good chances. I remember Alisson making a great save from Saka, the one that was actually on target. So, uh, and again, Minamino missed an almost an open goal. There was just Ben White standing in front of the goal. Again, Ben White had a great game. So after their an indifferent performance against Nottingham Forest, Arsenal will take home so much heart from this performance. And um, somehow, I also think that a little bit of karma was involved with all the controversy regarding why the game was postponed last week, with the false positive cases and the training center being shut down for just 2 days, one day before the match and then the day of the match. So stuff like that. But yeah, a nil-nil draw. Let's see what happens. One of the predictions that I got right this week, so I'm happy about that. I did say it was 1-1 or 2-2, but at least it's a draw. The score did not match. But yeah, let's see what happens in the next week. Now Arsenal have a tough run of fixtures. Now they have Spurs on Sunday and then again Liverpool. So yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there. But what your views on the match, Rahul?
I didn't see this coming. As simple as that. I just didn't think Arsenal had it in them. I mean, it's like even if they were not, even if they did not have a pair sent off, even then I did not see this coming. But then we have not seen this kind of a defensive performance from Arsenal, I think, in a long time. In a long time. Against especially a big team when they had a player like Xhaka sent off in 24th minute. And I mean, I understand Liverpool were without Mane and Salah, but still to hold off the Liverpool attack for 66 minutes when you're down to 10 men, I just didn't. And that too away from home at Anfield. I mean, for Arsenal, I just didn't think they had it in them. I I don't want to say that I have a little more respect for them now, but yes, I am a little impressed. Like I said, I will say keep saying this, but I did not see this coming. So, do you have any predictions now? Like who's going to go through?
See, I was always favoring Arsenal to go through, and yeah, I think I'm still on that bandwagon. But again, I'll have to check when the match is, whether it's on a Wednesday or a Thursday next week, because after such a performance, such a defensive performance, it takes so much, out of the team. And now they have the North London derby on Sunday, and then again this match. So, and again, they don't have the a very huge squad. So maybe fatigue will be a factor, but yeah, I'm still favoring Arsenal to go through. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. There were two Premier League matches as well, and as we had said in the preview episode, the hosts had enough to get 3 points in both the matches. Southampton beat Brentford 4-1, and West Ham beat Norwich 2-0. Now, there are two questions on one each for both the matches. The first one being Armando Broja. There are noises now that maybe Southampton will sign him on a permanent basis. Given our striker predicament, um, do you think this deal happening, or what would be the effects of this deal, Rahul?
I mean, Southampton would love that, won't they? Yeah. Um. Well, obviously we've already seen like what, two, three players at Southampton. From Chelsea. One is obviously Livramento. The other is I think another academy player that joined, but no one really talks about that player much. That is Daniel Semedo. He's another centre back who joined Southampton, and the third is obviously Armando Broja, who joined on a season long loan. Um, in fact, when the season started, I read rumors that he was actually very close to staying at Chelsea. I still remember the goal that he scored against Bournemouth for Chelsea in the preseason game. He came off the bench and he scored that goal, and he gave me. And ever since then, I've been telling you that this guy gives me Diego Costa vibes. Peak Diego Costa vibes. Actually, he's still what, just 20 years old. Uh, so yes, I hope that he stays and he has a wonderful career at Chelsea. At the same time, like I know how Chelsea work, how smart they are about these deals. Even if he joins Chelsea, I think even if he joins Southampton, I still expect Chelsea to maybe have a buyback clause or a first refusal or something like that. That if in the end, let's say we do want to sign him back, or it's not really working out with one of the current strikers that we have at the club, maybe Havertz or Lukaku or anybody else for that matter, then we could maybe bring him back. Or for that matter, the only reason I could see, maybe let's say Werner leaves and then we bring him back to replace him, or uh, if we sign another striker and then making him stay won't make a lot of sense because he won't really get a lot of game time. Let's say if even though we already have Werner, Lukaku, or Howard, but we still go for someone like uh, Haaland or Vlahovic or anybody else, then yes, I would understand. Otherwise, uh, out of all the options available, I think he's the best out there, and for him, we don't really have to spend any money either.
Yeah, Haaland and Vlahovic. Wow, great dreams, Rahul. Okay, yeah, even I think maybe doing this deal on a permanent basis right now is a little premature when we don't have our striker situation sorted out. But again, as you said, I'm sure we'll have some sort of terms in the contract that will help us try, get him back. Maybe a little on the expensive side, but yeah. Okay, the second
I
question,
think.
West. Yes, Rahul.
Sorry. Before you move on, so there's one more thing that I actually want to say, because let's say even if you bring him to the club, right, and if he doesn't play much, then uh, even then he will ask for a move away, because these days no one wants to stay at a club and not play. So even if we Chelsea as a club decide to keep him, but if the player is not happy, the player will ask for a move. So eventually, he will want to stay at a club where he is utilized and playing regularly.
Yes, I understand that, but again, as I always say, that our best striker partnership was when we had three of them, Drogba, Elka, and Kalu. And for now, yes, Armando Broja will most likely play the Kalu role, but given the sheer volume of matches that we play throughout the season, I don't think chances will be all that limited to him, and especially with injuries, red cards, stuff like that. So I think everybody gets their fair share of games these days. So again, we have to resolve. There was
I
a
think
lot of news about Werner joining Barcelona and stuff like that. So once all that is resolved, then we'll have a better clarity of how maybe things should be managed.
I think I would agree with you to a certain extent. If let's say, I mean, obviously, I feel like whoever is at Chelsea, those players do get a chance. Uh, when it comes to maybe Champions League or Carabao Cup or FA Cup or any other competition. But the problem is that because we only have three substitutes rule in the Premier League, so a lot of these players don't get a chance in the Premier League, and I guess that's where the biggest spotlight is on a player. But yeah, we can
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on to the next.
I get that. I get that. But yeah, again, there are a lot of variables now. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we've discussed it enough. Okay, the
Yeah,
second question. West Ham, they are now fourth, 2 points ahead of Arsenal with a game. They've played a game more. How do you see this top four race turning out? There is West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham, maybe even Man United. So who do you predict to finish top four as per the current form?
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, see, Tottenham, if they win all three matches that they have in hand, then they'll be on 42 points. That is 5 points ahead of West Ham. But how many of us are betting Tottenham winning all three matches? So,
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
yeah, even on current form, yeah, I think Arsenal are the favorites. But let's see if Conte does his magic. Sorry.
I think Conte in a way wants to be knocked out of all the other competitions so that he only has one competition to focus on, and that's when he does his best work.
Yeah, I think they already are. So now they
Yeah,
only have to
yeah,
concentrate
they
on the
already are.
winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
maybe they'll only have one game a week, and we could probably and but see that's the thing, like if it was any other club, I would probably say that it's Conte's team that's the favorite. But no matter who joins Spurs, Spurs will be Spurs. There will always be an element of Spurs to them.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. The Super Copa, Real Madrid against Barcelona in Riyadh, of all places. Now, Real Madrid won this match 3-2. Vinicius Junior started the scoring. Ludion replied from Barcelona. Then Benzema scored in the second half. Ansu Fati, who came on as a substitute in this match, uh, he scored. And the match did go to extra time, as you predicted, Rahul. But it was not penalties. Valverde scored the winner, 3-2. But the basic theme from this match that came out, at least in the Spanish media, was it was a very courageous and honorable performance by Barcelona, whatever that means. And how do you view this match?
I think yeah. So later when I saw the team news and I heard that who's fit, who's available, I realized actually Barcelona have almost all of their players back. I think it was just Eric Garcia and another couple of players, Martin Braithwaite and one more, Sergi Roberto. Yeah, only these three were out. But again, Ferran Torres was available, who actually started. Pedri, Fati. They actually have, like I said, they do have a pretty exciting squad. Barcelona. Even Luke De Jong actually kept his place and even scored. So because this was actually their first match when all of these players have actually played together, so maybe that's another reason why that they didn't really have the time to gel yet. But if this same squad now continues to play together with each other, which obviously they will, then I do expect them to get better. Yeah, I don't really think because like just a couple of weeks ago we were saying Barcelona are without 10 players, 11 players. Obviously, that kind of an impact, like when you miss so many players like that, then it obviously impacts any squad. It doesn't matter if you're Barcelona, even maybe the cities of the world won't miss 10 or 11 players. I'm just assuming, but yeah, just an example. But otherwise, any team would miss 10 or 11 players.
Yeah, I would like to curb my enthusiasm about the performance for now, at least, because see, this was an El Clasico. This was a knockout match. So, yeah, it is easier to get a team pumped up for such an occasion. But coming back to the league and performing it, week in, week out, I still have certain reservations. I'm not saying they'll not be able to do it, but I'll wait for the results before I climb
No, I'm not
the.
saying that they don't have any flaws. I'm not saying that they don't have any flaws. Obviously, they still need some numbers, some better defenders. Uh, but yes, yeah, I like you said, let's see how they do week in week out in the league.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, one thing that Xavi has been able to do is sort of established a team spirit and a team bond that is important. And yeah, again, when your head coach is a Xavi-like figure, then players do listen. And again, I don't think that was the case with Ronald Koeman, because everybody knew he was a dead man walking, and they were just waiting for the inevitable. So I think he lost his authority at that point of time. Um, Regardless, we do have to mention about Real Madrid. I mean, yeah, they are so experienced in such games, and both Vinicius Junior and Benzema, they came up Benzema with an assist as well. So yeah, now they'll be facing Athletic Bilbao, who were able to defeat Atletico Madrid. Again, Madrid had the lead actually. Um, it was João Felix's header which hit the post
Yeah,
and came back and
yeah,
hit the goalkeeper Unai Simeone, and yeah, it somehow went into the goal.
yeah.
And
One of the smallest players on the pitch.
yeah, and then Alvarez and Nico Williams scored in the 77th and 81st minute respectively. Um, Now, the biggest issue from this match was, I think, something that we have been talking about for a couple of months now. The identity of the team, where do they go from here? Suddenly, how bad have they become defensively, which used to be their forte? Now, both the goals that Bilbao scored were from set pieces. And until not long ago, whenever we talked about set pieces, the first team or the first few teams that came to mind was one of them was Atletico Madrid. So uh, uh, Cholo Simeone gave an interview to a Spanish media where he was very curt and to the point. Sorry, just answering in a couple of words, and he seemed I mean, he had lost it. Uh, the whole plot. I don't know about the dressing room, and even the fans turned on them at the final whistle. They booed the team and stuff like that. So again, really don't know where do they go from here. Maybe it is a hangover of the championship last time around, but good teams don't do that. They try and build on it, and this was again, as we have said it multiple times, this was such a great opportunity for them to grow on and have that La Liga title once again. Maybe add a couple of more titles like this one to their kitty, but did not happen. Your views, Rahul?
Again, I mean, to be honest, they just need something new, man. There's something's got to change, and that's the thing. Like, it's all about making the hard decisions. If this was Chelsea or any other club, maybe Simeone would have already been sacked by now, because he's not like it's. So the question now is he taking them forward now? Has he done all that he could? In my opinion, the answer is yes. Is he doing a bad job? The answer is always no. But you have to think long term. Like, can he not do anything that he's not done already? And that's the perspective that, in my opinion, comes into the picture. Like, that's how the owners of Atletico should think. That he has done all that he could at Atletico. We need someone new, a new face, new tactics, new ideas, a fresh face. So yeah, they just need to be someone younger, someone. I mean, obviously, it's like all cycles end. So, again, maybe it's like he doesn't want to become like a Wenger, wherein he stayed too long, past his time in a way. I mean, because he doesn't want his stock also to dip a lot. If he goes to another club, then maybe he has to start again. He also learns something new. But if he stays at Atletico, it's gonna be the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and when I see such cases, I mean, I just have more respect for Ferguson, Alex Ferguson, because how did he manage to do that year in year out? Of course, there were spells where the Manchester United did not win anything, and I mean, I am not a great admirer of a lot of his antics, but yes, this is one thing that is truly appreciable, that he had that fire, that zeal in him for 27 almost 3 decades. And
Yeah.
I mean, he waited for one last year when they won the cup before he, bowed out. So yeah, maybe not maybe. I think it has already gone stale with Atletico and Simeone, and let's see if they have that vision and that that strength to take a bad decision. Maybe let's see if they part ways. Maybe Italy will be waiting for him. I actually
Yeah.
I don't see him in the Premiership for some reason,
Yeah. Yeah.
but let's see. Okay, shout out to Athletic Bilbao, the defending champions. They are in the finals again. Um, let's have a mini preview of that match, Rahul. How do you see that match panning out?
So if I'm not wrong, Athletic Bilbao knocked Real Madrid out last season.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I don't see that happening again. I think Real Madrid gonna win. I think Carlo Ancelotti is specialist when it comes to top competitions.
yeah,
And maybe yeah, he will have that loss in his mind as well, even though he was not the manager then. But obviously, on paper, in a one-off cup competition, in a final, Real Madrid versus Athletic Bilbao, Madrid will always be the favorites,
yeah,
especially now that Benzema has got some support as well in the form of Vinicius. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, Madrid for me too. Moving on, we had the Coppa Italiana Cup, that is Inter faced Juventus, and through Western McKennie, actually Juventus took the lead in the first half, around 25 minutes, and Lautaro Martinez scored a penalty. It was 1-1, and then late in extra time, Alexis Sanchez came up with the winner. Um, Again, we talked about reality check last time around, but I think that this was a much improved performance by Juventus. Somehow their experienced players came to the fore, and that ability, how to manage a big game, that came to the front, and they played well. Yes, Inter were dominant rather in the match, but yeah, Juventus gave a good account of themselves, and when the side that wins scores the winning goal in the last minute of extra time, um, you really can't do much about it. I mean, all the tactics and strategy and stuff like that goes out of the window. You have to take it on the chin and just try to be okay with it. But yes, I did think it would be easier for Inter. So I think that is the biggest sort of appreciation I can give to Juventus for this match. Rahul?
I think a couple of controversial points here. One was I remember uh, because obviously the goal that they conceded, Juventus, was actually pretty late, almost like they were done with extra time. So Juventus had already downed their tools. They were under the impression that this will go to extra time. So Juventus's coaching staff was actually asking Juventus players to make a foul so that they can bring on Leonardo Bonucci, so that Bonucci can come on and take a penalty in the penalty shootout. But but while that was happening, or even if they wanted to do that, Inter had other plans. They were still trying to go for the winner, and lo and behold, they scored the winner. Which is why I also saw a video of Bonucci actually getting in a tussle in a way, in a little shoving and pushing with one of the. There was this guy who was in the Inter staff. Maybe just case of sour grapes, I guess.
Yeah. But the oldest
Um,
rule in football is play to the whistle. I mean, maybe Juventus were a little ahead of themselves. So I actually did not
yeah,
notice that, but yeah, you have to fight till the last moment, man.
yeah. Um, and there's another thing that I read. I'm not really sure how true it is. So the fact that obviously KSI is out for the season, uh, and they need a striker. So I read that maybe they could go for someone like Aubameyang. Arsenal want to sell him. Juventus need a striker. Not sure if it's true, but if it is true, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, let's see.
It makes a lot of sense for Arsenal, believe me. I'm not sure about Juventus. Because again, at that age, when you have not been playing regularly, it is so difficult to, come up to speed. Maybe he will, I am not sure, but Yeah, Arsenal would be so happy to get this deal done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this podcast, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back with our weekend preview show. Again, thank you. Bye bye.